Okay, now speaking of Jason, let's get into this tea because we all know that that character from In a Violent Nature, the killer, was very much modeled after Jason. Now, speaking of which, we just got reports from, I believe Variety revealed this, that In a Violent Nature 2 is about to start shooting in Canada in 2 months because August is right around the corner. So we have so September is basically when it's gonna start filming. So now the original In a Violent Nature, written and directed by Chris Nash, had its world premiere at the Sundance Film Festival in 2024 and was released theatrically on May 31st that year. The film mainly follows Johnny, a vengeful undead killer who embarks on a bloody rampage after a group of teens steal a golden locket that awakened his spirit. I believe that it came from his mother. The cast includes Rye Barrett, Andrea Pavlovic, and Lauren Marie Taylor. Now, Variety's In a Violent Nature review adds slasher movies often drop between grisly highlights due to the weak plotting and cardboard characters meant to lend structural integrity to their shot content. In a Violent Nature avoids these pitfalls by pretty much sidestepping entirely the standard niceties of narrative and psychological detail. Now, in July of last year, IFC Films and Shudder, AMC Network streaming service for horror, thriller, and the supernatural, revealed a sequel was in development during a horror-focused panel at San Diego Comic-Con. So wait a minute, San Diego Comic-Con happened? Where the hell was I? So, they must have been because with all the stuff going on this weekend, when everybody's speaking about like with Kevin Feige and all this stuff. I think that's probably what that was. Well, I've been so busy this weekend, I didn't even know Comic Con happened. So, they said In a Violent Nature demonstrated that there continues to be a yearning for new perspectives in the horror landscape. We knew immediately that this distinctive take on the slasher would enthrall fans, and we're glad to see the community embrace a new slasher icon in Johnny. Scott Schumann, head of AMC Network's film group, said at the time of their initial announcement. With the sequel, we aim to prove that Johnny can be bigger, meaner, and his kills can only get more impressive. Producer Peter Koplowski added, In a Violent Nature was originally conceived as a meta sequel within a fictional slasher series, so we were always imagining mayhem beyond the scope of the original film. That we now have the opportunity to continue following Johnny on his restless walk has us feeling incredibly grateful to our incredible partners at IFC Films / Shudder, who believe in Chris's vision from day one. We are thrilled to return for a new chapter and are excited to deploy Johnny as a conduit to further experiments in the genre. Well, here's the thing. I actually liked In a Violent Nature. I thought it was a cool movie. The problem is it gets boring at times. Like you try to watch it repeatedly. I watch it for the kills. Like every now and again, when I'm popping up on Shudder, and I notice that like if it's on, like they have a channel specifically where they show movies or whatever. So if it's on, I'll actually sit and watch it. But after a while, it's just like, okay, the restless walking and stuff that y'all showing the POV of the killer, which I thought was a nice take, because I know that it was stemmed from Friday the 13th, where it's like, okay, so while these kids are busy waiting to be killed, but we know that we're getting that from watching a slasher, what is the killer doing in the meantime? So it's like, what's Jason doing in between, you know, gutting people? So we get to see it from the point of view of the killer, which I thought was relatively cool. And some of the kills in this film was very gnarly. Specifically, the scene with what is it? The girl that was working out. So watching her scene, I'm like, chill. That scene still messes with me to this day. And it's like, I can't. I like when I watched that movie, I was like, I mean, that scene freaked me the hell out. I was trying to see if and I thought it was like a pretty gnarly scene. So if we can get more kills and stuff like that, then I would be pretty excited to see this film. But for the most part, I'm definitely curious to see like what would be the idea for this film? And where would they possibly take the franchise? Because I'm like, after they done buried him, once they returned the locket back to that ground where he was buried, that's when it ends. And then the girls in the car, I thought something crazy was going to happen at the end, but then it just abruptly ended. So I wonder if the girl that survived the original movie, is going to come back. I'm also curious, is like I said, where they're going to take this story. So I'm genuinely interested in seeing what's going on with this. Like I said, I like the first movie. I just hope that they could tighten it up a little bit in regards of Johnny and the walking and stuff, because it did get it felt a little stale afterwards. Like, okay, now I gotta sit here and watch this guy just like walking around. Like it was getting a little like repetitive. It got tedious. So I hope that they tighten that part up a little bit. But I will say that you get an A for effort for taking a big swing and giving us a different perspective on the slasher movie genre. So it's filming this year, September. You already know slasher movies don't take long to film, so it'll probably take them like maybe 2 months, possibly 3 to film it, maybe less. And it'll be, I don't even think it said when it's coming out. So, um, yeah, it doesn't say. It says it's filming in Canada in September, which means they'll save money. And who knows? Maybe they'll do it like they did last year, which is it'll be done. They'll film it now. It'll be ready for the Sundance Film Festival in 2026, and then we'll get the movie in May of 2026. So I'm definitely curious to see this film. Like I said, I like the End of Violent Nature films. There's parts of it that, like I stated, tedious, but it's one of the good slasher movies, and if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Specifically that scene with that girl that I just showed you on that picture before I just took it out. Her death, that still lives rent free in my damn head. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.